The day is here. The night before the England Croatia matchup. Man, the first thing I'm gonna do once we finish recording the stream is go to bed because I want that to come by fast. Man, I cannot wait for this game.
This
England,
is a
they've been
game.
talking the talk, but can they walk the walk? And they have all the pressure on them. They have Wembley. Now it's time for them to perform and them to show what they are made of. But me and Isaac did preview a little bit, talking about the England lineups and how we think it's gonna go. That'll be posted very soon. But we didn't get Imran's perspective on it. So Imran, how do you think England line up versus Croatia?
Specifically, this game, I think they'll be more defensive, especially Harry Maguire is out, and if you, and you're going against Croatia, who beat you last time, and they're experienced. Like they have guys like Modric, like World Cup finals. Um, I think they'll go three in the back and like a back five. So should I go like player by player? Because
Yeah,
Southgate
if
is
you want to.
okay. Southgate is a defensive manager at his core, really. Like I think he'll go Stones. Like the back three will be Stones, Walker, and Meeks, and Chilwell, and probably Trippier as a wing back, and Rice and Calvin Phillips to protect the back line, especially like when the back. Yeah, that's how it's gonna be. Because I don't think he can go with a attacking player in there. I don't
Is
think he'll do
Henderson
that.
fit?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, you
I
can
mean,
go on.
I don't think if I was Southgate, I don't go with this team. But like the front three, let's go with. I
What
think
was
he'll
your
go
front three?
either. I think he'll go either Rashford or Sterling. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure,
Or both.
or both. I mean, he can't do
No,
both.
I can't see him going both. No chance.
It's Southgate. It's
I
the type
think
of thing he would do. He's
I
loyal
wouldn't
to
pick
those players.
either.
He trusts them. I would never do it. I might not even start either one of them. I
Yeah, I
probably
would
would
pick.
start one of them, but I don't know.
I
In
would
my
start
prediction, I
Rashford
said I
because you need
wouldn't.
that threat in behind. You can't.
I
I
mean,
mean, you don't
You
yeah,
can't.
like. It's
You
not like the Premier League where you need pace. Like
you play.
international
No,
football, you
no,
can kind of.
no. You say that, but France, who did they have? They had Mbappe. Um, you this you could use that pace to attack in different ways. You don't have to be one dimensional.
If Rashford and Sterling are not in form and they don't usually move the ball very well. Like
But Sterling, he can
I
affect the
mean, they
game
have
even when he's out
I
of
wouldn't
form.
start Sterling personally.
He can affect the
horrible
game even
form.
when he's out of form, and
I mean, they need that one moment to really affect the
and
game.
he
But
can give that England that aging Croatia center backs. And it's not like they go with the back five; they go with the back four. Their fullbacks are not scared to bomb up and down the field. England is gonna have some space in this game. And the thing is, if you go with the front three of Foden, Kane, Grealish,
Grealish.
and you have a Mount probably underneath them,
that's a lot of
where are
interchangeability.
you gonna get the goals from? Besides Kane,
I
where are you
mean,
gonna
other
get
I
the?
mean,
players
don't
can score too, but I know
Yeah,
I see
but
I see
they
both
they
sides of your
they're not
opinion.
they're not goals. I mean, Foden
you
has a
really need
goal
a
in
goal. You can sub someone in too. Like
Foden has a goal in him. Um,
if it's not working, like you can sub in Rashford or Sterling, maybe Sancho too.
I think
That's a
Sterling is
lot
a
of
must. I think Sterling is a must start in this team. Even when
He
he's the
hasn't been
guy,
playing too good recently.
he'll affect the game. Even Pep Guardiola, he knows how Raheem Sterling can affect the game at any moment. He didn't just start him he hasn't been starting for about 2-3 months really in all the important games. He didn't just suddenly start Sterling for no reason. Yes, he made a mistake not
It didn't
playing his
work.
center defensive midfielder. It didn't work
he wasn't.
because it didn't work. I'm like, I wouldn't say
Just
that.
like
I
Rashford.
think
Wait,
people saying Reece James
only
pocketed him. No, that's not true.
wait.
Sterling played well. He just didn't have much. He had a couple runs in, and he had some threat in the box. He was the only guy in that first half of that final that was lively at all.
Managers
I
like
just
guys like him and Rashford because they can, like, they need that one moment. Like, Ole left Rashford in the Europa League game, like the final. because he knows like during the season he scored so many times like that. Like he's playing horrible or not good enough, and then he just scores or puts in a cross and turns into a goal.
Let's say Southgate. Yeah. Let's say Southgate picks Kane up top and then Sterling on the left. Who would you guys pick to go on the right?
Foden.
Yeah, because
no doubt.
I think Grealish is better on the left.
Foden, no doubt.
Okay, what if he picks Rashford on the right with Kane? Then who goes on the left?
If you remember, I went ultra attacking on my lineup. I had Sterling up there with Kane and Foden, and I had Grealish drop down in my midfield alongside Mount. Mount playing in a slightly deeper role, even though he's not really going to be playing that deep.
Yeah, too attacking.
That's too attacking, but you're playing in Wembley. You have that support.
I would like Bellingham, but it's the first game against Croatia.
I don't care about the age. I would start Bellingham.
You do not play a 17-year-old.
I'll play him in the second game.
I don't care about the age.
Competitive international game versus Luka Modric. Okay, that's just blinded thinking. You cannot do that to him.
I'll go Calvin Phillips because of that. But the next 2 games they should play Bellingham.
Yeah, even Phillips. It's not like Phillips is completely experienced, but he does have the age. He does have the games played in the Premier League. I mean, Bellingham, he just started playing for Dortmund when Witsel got hurt, really. That's when he started getting his playing time.
I still don't care. I don't care about the age.
Playing in the Champions League.
I would play. He played very good in the final of the Champions League. That's the same level as Modric. And
Quarterfinal.
Against the team that went to the final.
And did you just say Bellingham is on the same level of Modric?
No, they're not on the same level as the player. I meant they played like on the same level of the tournament, in the semifinals.
Oh,
so they can.
Well, I mean, he played in the quarters, but yeah, I know what you mean.
It's similar.
Similar. Yeah, I mean,
should I go with the team I would do? Like, I'll go with the back
what
four.
team would you go?
Back three is too defensive. I'll go. Four? Yeah.
No Maguire, no Henderson.
Yeah, but I'll protect them with Phillips and Rice.
So what's your lineup?
Shaw or Chilwell. I prefer Shaw, but you can go Chilwell.
And United. Bias. Hi, keep going. So center back?
Stones and Mings.
Speaking of that, did you see Mourinho? I know they don't have the bestest relationships, but there was a little shot in there. I honestly think Mourinho prefers Chilwell over Shaw, but I think that there was a little bit of bias in there when he was not a little bit, not biased, but a little bit.
Too sure.
He was exaggerating it because I don't think they have the best relationship. When he's like, no, I wouldn't think twice about it. I wouldn't think twice about it. But I honestly think he would prefer Chilwell over Shaw. I do too, by the way.
I agree.
I really don't think it's up for debate.
I think he prefers Chilwell, but he also doesn't like Shaw, so I can't really take too much.
Okay, so you had Chilwell or Shaw, and then your center backs?
Stones and Mings. I can't trust them, but Stones and Mings. And right back, I think Reece has been the better out of him and Walker, but I'll go Walker because he's
if you're playing the back two, you need Walker to protect them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're also playing Phillips and Rice.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you guys.
Games after that should be Bellingham.
What do you guys think of Connor Cody? Because he never gets mentioned whenever we talk.
He plays in it. The only way I see him is if people get injured and they're playing a back three. The dude can't run.
So you say Connor Cody's not as good as Mings?
He's not as good as White.
Oh, dang.
He got picked over White.
I'll prefer White in the back two. Cody cannot play in the back two. He's just not fast.
I know he usually plays in the back three, but we don't see him playing a back too often. I feel like I would pick Mings over Connor Cody as well, but I feel like it's unfair. He never gets brought up in our conversation at all. And I think he's better than Ben White.
I don't.
Probably better than Ben White. But I think Mings complements Stones better too.
Yeah, for sure.
And in my I said Phillips and Rice, and I'll go Grealish, Foden, and Mount. Like Grealish on the left, Foden right, Mount middle, and Kane is guaranteed.
Okay, my only problem with that
I know.
is where's your threat in behind? It's not even pace. Where's the guy that'll run at defenders straight like Foden and Grealish? They're gonna try to glide past players and cave. Who's gonna take players one-on-one and use their pace and drive at them and score goals too, because that's important in a tournament like this. Who's gonna do that?
You want to go Sancho on the right? Like
and if you're playing a back four too, so you're relying most of your width is gonna be relied on your fullbacks if you're gonna be playing Foden and Grealish, because they're gonna be looking to cut in and to create, and you're gonna have to rely on the width of Chilwell and Walker. That's gonna even surrender your two center backs even more too. That's gonna make them even more what's the word? More vulnerable, in danger.
Exposed.
Vulnerable. Yes, more vulnerable, because your width is mainly going to be coming from your fullbacks. And that's why I think, like, when people clown Southgate for playing a back five, there's genuine reason, because he has concerns with the center half pairings. They do not have any world class center backs. I'm sorry, Maguire is not a world class center back, guys. I don't think he is, and I don't think anybody else.
He's better than other players, but yeah, he's better than a lot of other center backs. In my prediction, in what I would do, I also said Grealish and Foden at the time, but I completely understand your point. You probably do need a Sterling or a Rashford, someone that can run through. I was just saying that because I like the more
someone who can
players,
provide you more width.
Which brings me to my point. Who would you rather have in the starting lineup on the wing, Foden or Grealish? This is for both of you guys. Like right now, who's better, Foden or Grealish?
I think Grealish is the better player. Like, I would trust Grealish too.
I think Grealish is the better player, but Foden's better form. So you're gonna go with Foden.
Grealish coming off an injury. Yeah.
Would you pick the form or would you pick the class? Because I think Foden could get to the level of Grealish, but right now you compare the two players, I think Grealish is just a step ahead.
Well, if you're talking form and class, then I don't think Sterling's in good form, but he's got the class.
But yeah, he has.
And you said Sterling should play.
But Sterling has played in international tournaments before. He played in World Cups. He's played in Euros.
Yeah, he's been the guy. He's been the starter.
And he's been the guy for Southgate. For Grealish, he's just, after he just came into the fold after the World Cup.
Grealish has good form too. It's not like he's played bad. It's just Foden has been a really good.
And you know what Sterling could do at the drop of a hat. And I'm gonna keep saying this over and over again. You need Sterling's threat in behind too. That's the important thing. Your two of, let's say, Sterling and Rashford. If one of those two guys won form, well, there's no debate. One of them would be starting. But they're both in form, out of form now. So they're gonna have to use one. Yeah.
I'll go Foden because he's playing better right now, and he can switch on both sides. Like, he's better on the right too.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's move on to our next question. Isaac, how much pressure do you think England is truly under in this first game against Croatia?
I think a lot of pressure, because they always have the big talk, and they're one of the bigger teams, and they haven't won in a long time. England, I'm not a big fan of them, but they're a team generally, when you look at their squad, that should be challenging all the way to the final, that has an opportunity, and this can be their year. They have a very good squad, and with Scotland coming up with Derby, it's important to go into that game in a good position. So they need to win against Croatia. I think Croatia is an aging team, and that England, this should be a good win for England. I think they can win it. And yeah, there will be.
Could you?
I don't think they'll feel too pressured. I think they got it.
I think there's enormous amount of pressure on England, and I'll explain that really quickly. Let's say they lose this game. Let's say Scotland picks up 3 points. Now all the pressure is on England versus Scotland, and that's a derby game, and that's going to be physical. That is the worst situation England could possibly be in with all the talent that they got. I know I'm saying ifs, but Scotland, keep in mind this. Scotland played Czech Republic in Hampden Park. They do. It's in Scotland too. Keep that in mind. So Scotland really has a shot to shock them. But it's not even going to really be a shock. They do have the advantage. I know England gets all their games at Wembley, so Scotland will have to. But let's say there's going to be so much pressure on England having to play against Scotland. It's a derby. They lost their first game. They can't afford to drop any more points. It's just huge.
And they'll have to go for it too. Like, they'll have to go for it, and that might leave some space in behind, especially like if you don't have Maguire. I know he doesn't have pace, but he's their best center back easily, and like they could have problems.
Also, Yeah, it's a huge game for England, and they want to get the press, the media on their side too, because that English press will eat them alive. You win the first game. This happened with them when they beat Tunisia last time. It calms the press. It calms the team, and it makes the press more relaxed. That they're not going to be torturing them. Everybody is in the same camp. They're calm. They go into Scotland relaxed. They probably already have the 3 points by then. Imagine how much a better situation that will be. Yeah, I'm just saying, England need to.
And they need revenge for 2018 World Cup.
I mean, the question
I don't think they should go in with that kind of mindset.
Because no, I mean, like mentally, like if they can get it, then it will be like a boost. Like, oh, we got past our past feelings. Not sure how much it would affect them in the later rounds, but for this comic.
Yeah, so overall, Isaac doesn't think there's really that much pressure on England. I think there's gigantic amount of pressure on England. And Imran, you're really you think there is a little bit?
On the fence? Yeah, I think the gigantic pressure is from the next game.
Yeah, if they don't win this game, there's going to be a lot of pressure in this coming game.
Regardless of what happens this game, I think there'll be gigantic pressure against Scotland. Even if they win their other 2 games,
there's always going to be pressure on that derby. Yeah. This is like one of the, you talk about derbies in English football, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, but this is an international derby, and it's between 2 teams that basically never play each other in an international tournament like a World Cup or a Euros. We're going to see a true derby. This is going to be physical. I can't wait for that game.
McTominay hat trick.
I honestly can't wait for that game. Scott McTominay also is actually, I don't know how he'll line up on Monday against Czech, but he's part of a back 3.
He might
That's the thing that scares me too. Scotland, their back 3, one of them is a midfielder for Man United. The other is a left back with Arsenal, Tierney. They have 2 guys that are not really center backs. But I think that will get a little shifted by the time the Euros start. Who knows? Okay. Now let's answer. Now I have this final question to ask you about this upcoming game. Who will win, England or Croatia?
I think it will be a draw. I'm not trying to cop out or anything. I think it will be a draw. I think England have problems defensively and it might get exposed. I think 1-1. And I mean, they should have no problem scoring goals. But if they're gonna go with a defensive lineup, they're not going to score loads of goals unless like some fluky goals.
Isaac?
I believe England will win. I think this will be one of the more entertaining games we've seen so far with goals in it. I think Croatia have an aging squad, although defensive-wise, England, they're not going to be too good this game. But I still feel they have the quality going forward, and especially in the midfield. I mean, it's Mason Mount alone. I mean, they're gonna do. I think England will win this like by 2 goals. I think they got it in the bag. Although I think Croatia will still look like a good side, but I think England will. I think England will win it.
England has historically been very shaky in their first game. Now they're going to be playing Croatia. They're not going to get to play Tunisia like they get to play in 2018 World Cup, or play Russia like they played in the Euros in 2016, or they're not going to get easy matchups. They're not. This is Croatia we're talking about.
I hear statistics like that all the time.
I think it's going to be.
This team doesn't do good at the beginning. I don't care. I don't care what the past team like. There's only
I know, but
5 or 6 players that are still here.
Teams don't play. Teams, especially with the pressure on, like England, they don't really play in their first game. And I think it's really kind of.
And one more thing about England, like how much have they played together? Really, like the whole, like for example, whoever's going to be starting them.
Like, exactly. The team, 3 English teams played in European finals. They haven't played together at all since like Nations League. Really, they haven't had a full team together. That's a huge thing. And these past couple of friendlies, we haven't seen a resemblance of a full team because the players have not been available. It's gonna be tough. I think Croatia. I think this game will. I'm gonna say this again. If I have the bottom, I will say Croatia wins this, and I do. I'm gonna say Croatia wins this 2-1.
have to pick, I'll go England, but I'm gonna go with the draw.
Yeah, and all these excuses that I'm giving England, talking about how they didn't have a proper warm up and they didn't have what was I saying, that they don't play well in the first
haven't
game.
played together.
Yeah, no excuses, English fans. If y'all don't win this game, I will be calling y'all bottle drops, and I'll also be clowning y'all, especially on Twitter. Those people, man, they're funny. Oh man, I can't wait for the game. So I have a 2-1 win for Croatia. Isaac said it's going to be comfortable for England.
I don't think the whole game will be comfortable, but I think at
but
the
you
end
think the scoreline will?
A comfortable result. Yeah.
2-0, something like that, 3-1, something like that. And Emran has a
1-1.
Emran has a 1-1. Man, I can't wait. All right. Peace out. This is our prediction for England and Croatia. Peace out.